Hello everybody, welcome back to Burntchurch. I hope everybody's having a good day. It's an overcast, almost rainy day here. A little bit cool, but not too bad. We just got back with the mule. If any of you seen the last video there the other day, I was talking about I was having trouble with the mule. I thought it was the carburetor. Well, I carried it to Frog up the road here and he worked on it for me. And we finally got the parts in. They'd been ordered probably for about close to a week, I guess. I carried them to him out there yesterday and he got it going. I rode it home just now. It seems to be doing a lot better than it was. We'll take a little ride here on it and see. I need to try to get the bed back on it back here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that by myself or not. What was wrong with the mule was the coil. Now I thought it was firing. I even said in that last video that it was firing. And it was firing some, but it was sporadic. It would fire just a little bit and then it would quit firing. We ordered one of these and it came 2 in a pack. I thought I was just ordering one, but there was 2 of them in the pack. I don't know if they got messed up where I ordered it from or what. They wasn't all that expensive. I think I give around $30. And I got 2 of them. But he put that on there and it rode home real good. I just went and got it and drove it here. If we can get this bed put on, I'm wanting to go back here in the woods and harvest something. It's the time of year for it, and February is when you're supposed to harvest it. It's Sassafras tea. If any of you are not familiar with Sassafras tea, y'all come along with me if we can get this bed put on to where I can get my chainsaw and shovel and probably a hatchet. We'll go back here and try to harvest some. I don't know if we can handle that bed or not. It was pretty heavy whenever we took it off. If it wasn't for that thing right here, it probably wouldn't be so bad. But I know whenever I try to slide that up on there, it's going to be back here. This has to be up forward when I set the bed on it. I don't know. I just wondered. I've got some duct tape. I wonder if I could duct tape that up. That way I can just kind of slide that up on there. I believe that'll work. Got some duct tape here in the mule. Duct tape, that fixes about everything, don't it? It does around here. If duct tape can't fix it, I have to carry it somewhere else to have it fixed. Well, this ain't duct tape, this is T-Rex. It's the hardest tape I've ever seen to pull off the roll. It sticks pretty good, but it is hard to pull off the rope. Maybe I ought to hold it up there. We'll see what we can do with it.
Yeah, this whole town's shutting down. Everyone's gathered round, heading to the fairgrounds to see us a show. Got an AM country station blaring out a tune on the radio.
Now we just got to line the holes up and put our pins in it. See these pins right here? I got to drop that down and that pin goes through there. Same way on this side. Y'all don't forget, take a second and hit that thumbs up. It sure does help a lot. Now we just need to put the pin in this one And then run our wires back through here and plug them up. Take the tape off here. See, that's the hood latch. You put it on that bolt right there and it holds the hood up for you. I'll get a few tools here and we'll head over here and see if we can find some sassafras. I don't think we'll have to go too far. I believe down this ridge right down here to the left, we can drive down through there. I think I remember seeing a few sassafras trees down there whenever we was cutting the timber. Mule's running good. Better than it has in a long time. I took the windshield off. Y'all should be able to see something now. That windshield's so scratched up you can't see through it. Seemed like I saw them down at the end of this ridge down through here. I know our videos are starting to get real long. I've started leaving a lot more in them and not editing as much out. How do y'all like that? If you want them back short, just let me know and I'll start editing a lot of this out. But if you like them like this, I'll just leave them longer videos. I think right down here past this brush top, that brush pile right up here is not as far as we can drive, I think, anyway. It's bumpy. They named this thing right when they called it a mule. It feels like you're riding on a trotting mule whenever you ride it. If anybody's ever rode on a trotting mule, it's idling a lot better than it was too. I see one out here. Actually, I see two. I had a guy the other day ask me how to identify a poplar tree, and I didn't really know how to answer him. That's kind of a hard answer to me. I've been thinking about it. In the wintertime, if you don't already know the tree, it's kind of hard for me to explain how to identify it. And there's lots of trees out here that I don't know what they are, but I do know several of them. And I can't really tell you how I identify them. I just know what they are when I look at them. But that's a question that I'm still studying on. In the summertime, it's not as bad. You can look at the leaves, and that will help you a lot. I may try to do a video later this spring or this summer on how to identify a few of the trees, at least the ones I know. But we'll try this little sassafras right here. There's two of them. This one, he looks pretty bad anyway, but now, from my understanding, in February is when you're supposed to harvest sassafras root, and it's not supposed to hurt the tree. But I'm gonna pick the worst looking tree here, just in case it does, that we're not losing anything. Now, I'm not telling you to go out on somebody's property and harvest the sassafras root off of their tree, because that's on you. This one right here in the middle is the one we're going to harvest from. You can see we damaged it a little bit when we was in here logging. Knocked the bark off of it. But I'm going to clean out right here around it, and we'll dig down in there and see if we can take a little bit of the root off of it. I've already hit the roots right here just a little bit, knocked a little of the bark off, and it smells just like licorice or a sarsaparilla, I guess. My shovel's broke. I got another shovel in the mule. It's starting to rain too. Ain't that just my luck? I've got a lot more of it dug out here with this big shovel. Here's a worm down there. He's enjoying him some sassafras, I guess. We got this big piece of the root exposed here. I'm not going to take a whole lot. I'll probably take about 8 or 10 inches of this root right here. And then we'll cover it back up and leave the rest of it. As soon as I get enough of this gravel cleared out of the way that I can get my chainsaw in there. I might take about a foot of it, from about right here to right there. I think there's going to be another root going straight down, I do believe. So I may have to try to cut it off like this also. There's one big piece. I wouldn't recommend doing a real good chain that way on your saw, but my chain needs replaced anyway. Man, I wish y'all could smell that. I'll cover this up. We'll take this back home and clean it up. The sassafras has got some pretty color in it. This is what it looks like cleaned up. I sprayed the mud off of it. Now this ain't ready just the way it is right here. What I'll do is take the miter saw and I'll cut it in about 2.5 inch blocks. Just like that. And then, after I get those blocks cut, I'll peel this outside layer of bark off of it. Just like that. If you was here to where you could see, there's a little line around through there. You just peel that off. It's a lot easier to do when you cut it in short blocks than it is in this whole big piece. But you can see it comes off easy. Right here you can see the difference. I hope you can. You can see I've gotten down to the wood right here there. I've took all the bark off and it's changed colors. That's what I'm looking for whenever I peel the bark off of it. Then, after I get the bark peeled off of it, I'll take my hatchet and I'll split this in a bunch of little sections. And the pieces that I boil in the pot will be about probably about a 1/2 inch thick and about 2.5 inches long. Now you can boil those a couple of times. And usually what I do is I'll put enough water in a pan to fill up probably about 3 or 4 coffee cups. And I'll put about 3 of those little sticks in the water. And you just boil it pretty much as long as you want to. You don't want to boil all your water out, but you can pour you a glass of it and you'll see it's turned a real pretty pinkish red color. Now I don't like it without sweetener. Some people drinks it without any sweetener in it, but I like honey, sugar, or possibly even some maple syrup in it. Either one of those I like to add to it to give it just a little bit of sweet flavor, and then it's real good. But talking about sassafras trees, I've got something to show you. For all of y'all that's stayed around to the end, I've got a little surprise here I was going to show you. This is a picture frame that Daddy has just made. And this is made out of sassafras. Now this bottom piece is not sassafras, that's a piece of maple. But this here was just a little sassafras tree branch that he picked up in the woods, and he's made this picture frame out of it. I thought it looked real good myself. Now I don't think he's hardly done with it yet, but I think it turned out real good. Sassafras has a lot of benefits, a lot of health benefits, but it also says that you don't want to drink too much of it, that too much of it is not real good for you. And that's not a problem with me. I'll drink a few cups a year, and that's about it. This stuff here, when I get it sawed down and split up, it'll dry out, but it's not ruined. I've used some for several years later. I've had it in the drawers here, just put it in a sandwich bag once it dries. You don't want to put it in a sandwich bag until you let it lay out and air dry. And then I've kept it for years. And it's not hardly as strong when it gets old, but it's still good. You may have to use more than 2 or 3 little sticks. You might have to use 4 or 5 sticks in a pan of water to get the flavor as strong as what you'd like it. They say in February is when you want to do this, that it doesn't hurt the tree in February. And that's when the sap is supposed to be the best in these roots, is in February. That's what I've always been told. I don't have no proof of it, just the old timers has always said that. And that's when we've always harvested. From when I was a kid till now, in February is when you harvest sassafras root. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I sure do thank you for watching. I pray God blesses you, and I'll see you in the next one.